Welcome to Black America, where we dig into the issues affecting Black Americans today. Today we feature the ordeal of P Diddy, real name Sean Diddy Combs. I'm sure you've heard the news. The world watched in disbelief. Sean P. Diddy Combs, a titan of hip-hop, a cultural icon, arrested. The charges? Federal sex trafficking. The potential sentence? A lifetime behind bars. The accusation sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and beyond. How could this man, known for his charisma and business acumen, be caught in such a dark web? The weight of the charges is immense. Sex trafficking, a heinous crime that preys on the vulnerable, carries a heavy stigma. The prosecution, armed with surveillance footage and witness testimonies, appears confident in their case. Diddy, they claim, used his power and influence to coerce and exploit women, trapping them in a cycle of abuse. Yet, amidst the shock and condemnation, a different narrative emerges. One that whispers of a potential conspiracy, of powerful forces seeking to destroy a black man who dared to reach the pinnacle of success. The fight for Diddy's freedom, they assert, is a fight against a system rigged against him. Whispers of blackmail and extortion hang heavy in the air. Diddy's immense wealth, estimated at nearly $1 billion, makes him a prime target. His accusers, some anonymous, others with seemingly credible claims, paint a picture of a man who allegedly used his money and power to silence and intimidate. Could this be a calculated attempt to exploit Diddy's vulnerability, to leverage his fame and fortune for personal gain? They point to a pattern of behavior, a script that seems eerily familiar. A successful black man at the top of his game is suddenly brought low by a series of scandalous accusations. The narrative of the predatory blackmail, a stereotype deeply ingrained in the American psyche, rears its ugly head. Diddy's accusers, whether motivated by genuine pain or opportunistic greed, tap into this pre-existing bias, making it harder for the public to see beyond the accusations to the man himself. The specter of blackmail casts a long shadow, raising uncomfortable questions about the motivations behind these accusations. The case against Diddy, disturbing as it is, does not exist in a vacuum. It echoes a troubling pattern, a recurring nightmare where black men, often at the pinnacle of their careers, are targeted by accusations of sexual misconduct. The names ring out like a solemn chorus: R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson. Each case, unique in its details, shares a common thread: the swift and brutal downfall of black icons, often based on accusations that are difficult, if not impossible, to prove definitively. R. Kelly, once the king of R&B, now sits in prison, convicted of racketeering and sex trafficking. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, faced years of scrutiny and suspicion regarding allegations of child molestation, his legacy forever tarnished. Bill Cosby, America's favorite dad, saw his reputation crumble under the weight of numerous sexual assault allegations. These cases, while different in their specifics, highlight a disturbing trend. Are these men guilty of the crimes they've been accused of? Perhaps some are, but the question that lingers is whether the justice system, often blinded by prejudice and influenced by public opinion, is capable of delivering a fair and impartial verdict in cases where race and fame are so inextricably intertwined. The court of public opinion, fueled by salacious headlines and a thirst for scandal, often delivers a guilty verdict long before the actual trial even begins. Is Diddy merely the latest victim of this disturbing trend, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Adding another layer of complexity to the narrative is the recent experience of Sean Jay-Z Carter, a close friend and confidant of Diddy's. In a separate legal battle involving a lawsuit related to the alleged sexual assault case against Diddy, Jay-Z has publicly accused the plaintiff's lawyer of engaging in blatant blackmail. He claims that the lawyer, in a brazen attempt to extort money, threatened to tarnish his reputation with false and misleading information. Jay-Z's accusations, while specific to his own legal entanglement, cast a long shadow over the broader narrative surrounding Diddy's case. Could it be that both men are being targeted by opportunistic individuals seeking to capitalize on their fame and fortune? Jay-Z's experience serves as a stark warning, a canary in the coal mine. It suggests that the legal system, for all its claims of fairness and impartiality, can be easily manipulated by those with ulterior motives. Throughout this ordeal, Diddy has remained steadfast in his innocence. He has vehemently denied all allegations against him, proclaiming that he is a victim of circumstance, a target of malicious lies designed to destroy his reputation and his legacy. His legal team, working tirelessly behind the scenes, is meticulously picking apart the prosecution's case, highlighting inconsistencies, and challenging the credibility of witnesses. They argue that the evidence, presented as damning by the prosecution, is flimsy at best, circumstantial at worst. The surveillance footage, they claim, is inconclusive, open to interpretation. The witness testimonies, they allege, are riddled with contradictions and inconsistencies, suggesting collusion or coercion. Diddy, they insist, is a scapegoat, a convenient target for those seeking to make a name for themselves or profit from his misfortune. His supporters, a mix of loyal fans and industry heavyweights, have rallied around him, expressing their belief in his innocence and their unwavering support. The legal battle is far from over. Diddy remains defiant, determined to clear his name and reclaim his life. The outcome of this case extends far beyond the fate of one man, however famous he may be. It strikes at the heart of a justice system grappling with its own biases and the pervasive influence of wealth and fame. It forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about race, power, and the presumption of innocence in a society still struggling to overcome its history of racial injustice. If Diddy is found guilty, it will send shockwaves through the entertainment industry and beyond. It will reinforce the narrative that success, particularly for black men, comes at a steep price. If, however, he is acquitted, it will serve as a powerful reminder that even the most powerful and influential individuals are entitled to due process, to a fair trial, and to the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. This case is a crucible, a test of our collective conscience. It challenges us to look beyond the headlines, beyond the salacious details, and to engage in a nuanced and compassionate conversation about race, justice, and the presumption of innocence. As this legal drama unfolds, it is imperative that we, as a society, resist the urge to rush to judgment. The presumption of innocence, a cornerstone of our legal system, must apply to P. Diddy just as it would to any other citizen. The burden of proof lies with the prosecution, and it is their responsibility to present credible and compelling evidence to support their claims. Let us remember that accusations are not evidence, and that every individual, regardless of their wealth, status, or race, deserves a fair trial. Let us not allow the court of public opinion, often swayed by emotion and prejudice, to dictate the outcome of this case. This is not about defending sexual assault or condoning any form of abuse. It is about upholding the principles of justice and ensuring that every individual is afforded their due process rights. In the words of the great Martin Luther King Jr., "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Let us demand fairness, transparency, and above all, let the truth prevail.